Jeff Outgilwords. Welcome to my Facebook Live call tonight. And it comes with a question: what is duplication today? As compared to the past. And we'll talk about that. For those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing now for over 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. And I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 into my business. And the last 28 years, I've been full-time in network marketing. If that interests you, keep listening. And I'm going to acknowledge some great people joining. George in New York City. How are you, my friend? Andrina in Texas. She's a Texas gal. Good to see you. And who else we got? Sean, Alfred. What's going on, dude? How you been, Sean? I have to catch up, man. Miss you. Hope you're doing well there in California. Debbie Stone in Indiana. Nice to see you. Tamara in Missouri. Mr. Duplication, I get. Hey, Daniel in Canada. Nice to see you, Daniel. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Saw some of your pictures. You're always looking great, as usual. All you got to do is show up, man. Some people just have it made. What can I say? But anyway, good to see you on the call tonight. And let's see, Jessica from California and from the Philippines, Marcel. Nice to see you. And who else we got? It's going by so fast. Ciro. Nice to see you, Ciro. Hope you're doing well. That's right, Sean. Good. And Lupita also in Texas. Hey, Ken. How are you doing? Good to see you, Ken. Hope you're doing well down in Florida. Nice to see you on the call. And Emmeline Utesi in the Philippines. Jack Kramer in Winchester, Tennessee. Luz in Utah. Nice to see you as well. Yeah, good morning. She says good morning. It is morning there, isn't it? I hope it's a nice morning for you. And Judy, how are you? Who else we got? Yeah, all right, glad you're doing well, Ken. Awesome. Romel in the Philippines. Judy in Pennsylvania. Good to see you. This is a Q&A night, so if you got a question, just you can put it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer it. George, you can screenshot it and send it to me, because when I'm looking down at my phone, I don't see what people are actually saying at the time. But let's get into it, okay? This is Q&A night, Friday night. And so now Hannah, this is from South Africa. She's in South Africa. Jody in Alabama, nice to see you. But Hannah in South Africa asks a question, and she's a strong networker. I know her, 7-figure earner. She says, how best to leverage from a celebrity that wants to come into your business without wasting time with fans that won't buy that just like the idea of being around, just being around this person. Okay, so celebrity coming in your business. Now, that doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens. And, doesn't want to waste their time with fans, just want to do a photo op, right? Or take up their time. In other words, how can you make that productive? And what I suggest, Hannah, to do in situations like that is don't make that person so available. That's do a Zoom call, invite people to the Zoom call, let him announce that, hey, this is what he's doing. He thinks it's the most awesome thing. And for those who qualify by proving their dedication to the business, if they hit this rank or that rank, you can be in my inner circle group where you'll get my time and my attention. But if it's for people that are just wanting to buy the product, use the product, whatever that is, or the service, then they won't get that time and they won't get that attention. In other words, you got to make them qualify for it. You have to make them work for it. And then he'll know by virtue of the fact that they produced, that they achieved things that, they're really interested in doing the business. And then you're not wasting. Again, it's knowing where to spend your time. And most people, when we start in network marketing, we spend most of our time with the wrong people. We spend most of our time with the people who are never going to get it to grow. And that's because I get that in the beginning, you got to work with what you got, right? You got to get your thing going, right? And you don't know yet. Time will always prove who's in and who's really not, right? But it takes time to do that. But in a situation like that's what I would do. Let them earn it. Let them earn it. So Stephanie Jimenez says, Jeff, nowadays everything is virtual. So what are three things you teach a new leader to duplicate? Zoom, Facebook Lives, and so on. Now that sort of goes along with the question that Andrina from Texas has. How can we talk about duplication online versus in person? Okay, so the game has changed for now. Actually, a lot of people have been using social media. They've been learning how to brand themselves. They've been learning how to use Zoom meetings and things. Actually, that's been going on for a while with a lot of people, including myself, right? But a lot of people are like, sounds good, but what I'm doing is working for me. Even when it's not working, they'll say it's working, okay? And the proof is in the pudding, right? Or the proof is we used to say the proof is in the printout. Now the proof is in the rank reports, okay? If your leaders are ranking and they're not ranking back, but they're at least ranking at their present position, then that's a good thing. But again, we're talking about duplication here. Again, it depends. It was interesting. I talked to a man tonight. He's 80 years old, nice guy, really nice guy. But he was asking me this very question and what do I have to do to get things going? I said, well, first of all, I could tell by his age, he's an older guy, right? I said, what kind of phone do you have? He says, well, I have one of those flip phones. Did anybody remember the flip phones? You flip it out, right? These are not smartphones, okay? The only purpose of these phones is to talk to somebody, right? And I'm like, look, if you want to, and he wants to be successful in network marketing at 80 years old, he wants to do it. I think it's awesome. That's courageous. I think that's commendable. At the same time, then, the question is he willing to adapt and change? Because when we talk about duplication, it's about doing things the way people like to do things, right? All right? What I mean by that is I'm not talking about your product. I'm not talking about your compensation plan. I'm not talking about your specific tools in your business. Of course, that's important They understand those things. But the methodology is what we talk about when it comes to duplication. You're asking people to do certain things a certain way. And if everybody does certain things a certain way, they're always going to have better success in their business by doing it that way. That's the whole purpose of duplication. So just understand that when it comes to that, it's going to have to be Andrina and Stephanie. Understand that it's going to have to be, online tools, videos, PDFs, links, things like that. That's the way people want to be able to receive information, view it. Those are important methods. And yet I look at the vast amount of distributors in my network, or we call them distributors, leaders in my network around the world. And the fact is, the majority of them really are more face-to-face kind of people. They're more, they like to do venue meetings and they like to get together and things like that. And it's like Tony Robbins says, when you have something like this happen that we've had with this pandemic, you're either going to either freeze to death or you're going to go snow skiing. Which is it going to be for you? When it comes to duplication, the methods need to be snow skiing. And the snow skiing methods are going to be online tools. Also, Facebook groups that you're going to plug these people into, whatever your platform is on training, wherever they can go and get that, you got to plug them into that. Also into, just wherever they can get product education, wherever people can share their stories. So, but that's for now, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Now, when this pandemic is over, I still think you'll use all these things, and you'll also use the other things too. It's not one opposed to the other, right? It's not old school and new school. It's just school. And then who knows, we might even have some new tools by then as well. But yeah, that's all part of duplication. But the main thing is to keep it simple. It's simply about promoting. Why do you believe in what you do? Why do you believe in your product? Isn't that what's driving your business, is your product? If it's not, it's a pyramid scheme, okay? And I know nobody on this call is in a pyramid scheme, right? But it's really true. So if you're that passionate about your product, then just keep it simple. Your business is that product. The product is not money, right? So your product is the business. Then it's only a few steps. People learn how to invite people, to prospect people, both for the product and the business. And if they don't choose to do the business now, then that's fine. You have a consumer. Those are the, just simple, a few simple steps and a few tools that go along with it. Anything outside of that, it's not duplicatable. Keep it simple. It's so important. Look what I had when I started 21 years ago. Oh my gosh. I mean, you guys got so many tools and, but maybe that's part of the problem. There's too many choices out there. So again, just get it down to a few things. Back 21 years ago, we had an 800 hotline that explained the product. We did have a website, but nobody ever used it. And it had a few pages on it back then, 21 years ago. And then we had conference calling. So we did meetings over the phone, right? Somebody would talk about the company, talk about the opportunity, and people would share their experiences that they've had with the product. That was all we had. It was mostly the hotline and the conference calling. That was our tools. We couldn't complicate it if we wanted to. So today you got Zoom that you can utilize for your meetings. And of course you got Facebook groups for either team building or product sharing. And then maybe possibly a video that you like to use. Just a few simple things. That's it. So now John Johnson in Baltimore says, what is your response when someone says they've been in several MLMs and they ask you to see your video? Then they say, well, I'm just looking. I'll know it when I see it, then I'll join. Okay, here's what I do with John. If he's been in several MLMs, I would ask him why. Did they leave you or did you leave them? Are those companies still in business? And if so, why are you hopping around? What exactly are you looking for in an opportunity? And then find out. Get them to open up. Because, I talked to a man the other day and he mentioned, somebody, he says, I got somebody on my list. The first person I'm thinking of, and he said his name. I said, what? That guy? I haven't heard that name in 20 years. I said, he is the biggest MLM whore out there. That's all I can call him. It's really true. Because it's all about timing and positioning. He's not here to work, man. It's just about, hey, man, it's like buying the stock. It's like getting Apple stock when Apple was launching, right? Or Tesla stock when Tesla was starting, right? That's his mentality. But he's got nothing really to show for it after, 20 some years. I hadn't heard that name in 20 years. So ask him what he's looking for. So, why are you, just curious, why are you moving around so much? And let him respond to that and say, well, what exactly are you looking for in an opportunity? I wouldn't even send him a video or anything until you qualify him with those questions. So, and then Jenny Guzman says, now nobody's got this question. What should we answer when people call it a pyramid scheme? Jenny, what I do is I throw the burden of proof on them and I just play dumb and respond back. Well, John, what's a pyramid scheme? What do you mean by a pyramid scheme? And just, look sincere or sound sincere if it's over the phone and let them try to explain it. And after they stumble through it, you might be merciful. This is what we call compassionate prospecting. We'll help them out. Do you mean where people put money in something and there's really not a product? It's mostly people putting money in it, hoping to get rich? Well, yeah, like that. Oh, no, I would never do something like that. No. We give a product and a service in exchange for money. Isn't that the very definition of a legitimate business transaction? You go to Walmart, same thing, right? Walk in, you want the product, they'll give you the product. You give them the money, you got the product. Works the same way. So get them to always, instead of trying to let them throw the burden on you, throw it back on them. Actually, you think about Jesus was the same way. He was masterful at questions. That's why he was such a great teacher. They'd ask him a question. He'd say, well, I'll answer that if you'll answer this question. He'd throw it right back at him. Very good at it. It worked 2,000 years ago, works today. And then Jessica in California says, how do you choose between talking about your product and talking about the opportunity behind the product? Okay, so to me, they're inseparable. They're inseparable. If you have that great of a product, then that just means there's a great opportunity behind it. If there's such a market for your product, imagine the money that you'll make if you throw yourself into it and get other people to join you. But I never separate the two. Now, as I said earlier, if the timing is wrong for the business, then let them say, hey, that's okay. You can look at that later if you'd like. I'll tell you what. Why don't you just first be a customer of mine? We have a money-back guarantee. You got nothing to lose. Try the product, see if you like it. I'm sure you will. But don't talk too much. The reason why people don't make money in network marketing is they talk too much. What I just said is what you should say. And how do you motivate or inspire someone new who has just come into your business? Well, okay, that's a good question. I think the best thing to do, Jessica, is introduce them to people that have become successful in the business. In other words, what you want to do is you want to show people how well they're doing. Now, having said that, Be very careful, because I'm a firm believer that we need to sell the rain along with the rainbow. We need to sell the storms as well as the sunshine. We've got to sell it both. We've got to prepare them. Say, look, this person was successful, but it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And that person can share their stories, their struggles and all that. It's very important to focus in on that. And then they understand, it's not a walk in the park, okay? If you want to become real successful. You want to make $1,000 a month? No problem. And you probably won't go through any storms. Not too many, okay? But if you want to have a career in network marketing, sell the storms, sell the rain, and then they'll stay around because they'll remember what you said and they'll respect you for it. But introduce them, you want to motivate them, inspire them, introduce that new person to people that have done well. And then, okay, so now I'm going to go to George's. And if you have a question, feel free to post it, and I'll do my best to answer it. And we'll see what we got here. George has got a couple of questions. So, Andrea, how you doing, Andrea, from the country of Colombia? How do you deal with people month after month so they keep their auto ship order? Okay. So you want to keep people on your product. Okay, two things. How many of you have purchased a network marketing product, a product that somebody introduced you to? It's in a network, from a network marketing company, right? And then months later, you forgot what the product's really for. I mean, you know the name of the product. You may have some general sense. Maybe it's good for your health or it's good for your skin. But that's, as far as that goes, you don't remember really anything more than what they said, right? How many of you have ever used a product like that? I have. I sure have. And so, just because I love my friends, I'm on auto ship, and then sometimes after a while, my debit card gets compromised. It happens. And then I have to get a new card, right? And then I don't ever set up auto ship with those other companies because I don't even remember what I was taking that stuff for, right? That's because that person did not do a good job in connecting me to a Facebook group, for example, where I could listen and hear the stories of those people using the product so that I could become inspired. Wow, man, that's an incredible story, man. I'm going to stay on this product. Wow. It's called building faith. Okay, so why does a Christian go to a house of worship? Is it because he doesn't own a Bible? No, he wants to build his faith. They hear the stories, they get inspired. Wow, person's life was changed, or you meet some really cool people, whatever. Or there was a special message that the minister shared. Boom, inspired you, right? That's called building your faith. The same is true when you don't connect people to a place where they can get educated about your product and hear the stories. Don't be surprised when they get off auto ship, okay? Number two, here's the second. I said I was going to give you two reasons. The other thing too is try to, and that's if you inspire enough. What's the old saying? Facts tell, stories sell. It's really true. They remember stories. And we're not talking about lies here. But but I'm talking about people that got results. People that got results. Okay? So when they get inspired, say, you know what? Let me show you a way that you can get these products for free. You're interested in free? Okay, here's all you got to do. Give them an action step. In other words, look at your auto ship. Whatever your auto ship is that you want people to be on, if it's $100 a month, okay, let's just say that. Okay, what have they got to do to get that $100 back? Okay, what kind of downline structure do they have to have? Okay, so in the last company I joined 21 years ago, it's very simple. 2 who sponsor 2. If you go no further than that, that's 6 people, your products are free. Find 6 consumers, your products are free, not costing you anything. And the only thing you did was sponsor 2, but you taught them to sponsor 2 as well. Go no further than the second level, 6 people, boom, products are free. So that's 2 ways to lock people in. Stories, show them how to get their products for free. And then we have Lupita. How you doing, Lupita? It says here, what would a response be when prospecting? You give them the information on the product and they say that they need to ask their doctor to see if they can consume it. Don't you love those questions from people? Okay, so here's the thing. You know, I always say back to that type of person, I'll say, well, Debbie, nothing wrong with that. You can ask your doctor, but what does your doctor know about nutrition? Hey, you know, how much time has a medical doctor ever spent understanding nutrition? Because they're educated on drugs. When a person is sick and they go to them, they don't give them a bottle of herbs or some health product. They're going to write them a prescription for a drug because that's what they're educated. That would be like me, you saying to me, hey, can you look under my hood and tell me what's wrong with my car? Well, heck, I don't know the difference between a battery and an engine. Why are you asking me? That's not my background. Okay? That's not their background either. Say, you know, that's really not their background. Their background is drugs. But let me ask you this. This is your body. You're not going to get a second chance. If you don't take care of it and become self-educated on how to care for your own health, if you entrust it to somebody who's just going to prescribe drugs, are you going to live a healthy life? Are you going to live that long? What do you think? You got to get them thinking. You got to get them to understand they need to take responsibility of their own health. We're in this crazy country where we got to entrust our health care to politicians. Oh my gosh, crazy. Crazy stuff. I don't want their drugs. I don't want their health care, because I know it's all backed by pharma, every bit of it. And so I'm not saying that doctors aren't important. Of course they're important. I'm not saying that some drugs aren't important. Of course they are. But I know that if a person gets cancer, it's not because they didn't have enough chemotherapy in their body. Was it because they didn't have enough chemo? No. It's because they did not have a healthy body. They weren't taking care of it. Now, if you took care of it, you would never need chemo, would you? So, anyway, some thoughts to think about. So Maria from Mexico, she says, what to do with a person who enrolls but doesn't place an order and tells you that they will place their order when they get some money. How would you work with a person like that? What I would do, Maria, is tell them to look around. Well, first of all, ask them how important their health is to them. And then second, do they need to make money? See, if all this is a product sale, I don't know. They're going to be much more motivated if it is going to solve problems in their life. They may not be convinced your product is going to solve that problem. And most problems are money related. So what you need to do is, just like me, I sold a junk truck to get started. I put $200 into my business. I sold junk. I would really show her why your opportunity is an opportunity, why I can help solve many of her problems, and again, how she can get her products for free. But to get started, you're not asking her to come up with money, you're asking her to get resourceful and find something to get rid of. And there's always people out there who'll buy junk. All the time. So anyway, and if you have a question, there's one last question and then we're done. unless you have a question. And then Ezekiel from Mexico, he asked a question. We got two from Mexico, huh? I did the business the first 4 years and prospected and presented, but didn't get anywhere. Now I enroll again for a month, but going nowhere. What should I do? Okay, so Ezekiel, here's what you need to do, my friend, is don't keep doing things that don't get results. So what's a definition of insanity? Doing the same things over and over again and expecting what? Different results. Some say, no, just keep doing it. Just give it more time. It takes time. Just give it more time. Time will fix it. No, it won't. So what you need to do is examine, talk to people who are doing well. Ezekiel, do you know any that are doing well in your company? I know you do. What you need to do is find out what successful people do what they do, you will get what they get. I have found that to be true in my lifetime. If I wanted to learn professional baseball and get good at professional baseball, because I love it, okay, I'm not going to go and get advice from people who constantly strike out. Those are not the people I'm going to. I'm going to the hitters. I want to find out what the hitters are doing. What are their methods? How do they, how did they become so good? So you have to become a student of your own profession, my friend. But you can't just say, well, I'm just going to go at it again. No, don't do that. Talk to people who've done well and do what they do. That's the short answer. And I think that's some of the best advice you're going to get on that, because it's really true. And so anyway, so that's all the questions we got. Man, we had some questions tonight, and I appreciate your, being here tonight, Friday night, it's a weekend. And so whatever you didn't finish up on this week, if you can take some time and do that. People that you need to follow up on them. Find them. I mean, if you really want it bad enough, you got to stretch. You've got to stretch. That's the key. So everyone, thanks for being on tonight. And then I'll put out some value this weekend. I appreciate you being here. Love all you guys. Take care.